MULTIVERSUS is just about to release, so I decided to make a MULTIVERSUS Iceberg. If you don't know what an iceberg is, the format basically just goes from surface level information that most people would know to obscure information that not many know of. And quick disclaimer, I will only be discussing things about the open beta and previous states of the game. I will also be talking about leaks, but only old leaks. I will not discuss any leaks related to the release of the game. But anyways, let's just get right into it. So yeah, get relaxed, grab a snack and a drink as we explore the MULTIVERSUS Iceberg. Tier 1. You should probably know all of these things. The first entry in Tier 1 is Platform Fighter. This just refers to the genre of MULTIVERSUS being a platform fighter. Warner Bros. This entry refers to the company backing MULTIVERSUS developers and the owner of the IPs used in MULTIVERSUS. 2v2 focus. This entry is simply about the fact that unlike other fighting games, MULTIVERSUS is focused on 2v2 gameplay instead of 1v1 gameplay. And it's pretty much one of the only fighting games to actually do this. PFG. PFG stands for Player First Games, who are the developers of MULTIVERSUS. Perks. Perks are a mechanic in MULTIVERSUS that lets you pick one main perk specific for every character, and then 3 small perks that are universal to all characters. These perks provide interesting and unique power-ups and buffs, and can be stacked as well if you use the same one as your teammate. 2s and 1s. 2s and 1s are just the terms used to describe the 2 different modes in MULTIVERSUS, 2s being 2v2, and 1s being 1v1s. And that was Tier 1. Pretty simple stuff, right? You probably knew all of this. Tier 2. You definitely almost know all of these too. Warner Brothers sponsors. The first entry in Tier 2, this one refers to the Warner Brothers company sponsoring a whole bunch of content creators to play MULTIVERSUS at the beginning of the launch of the open beta. A wide variety of people got sponsored for this, and it was a pretty exciting time for the community. Raindog. Raindog is an original character created for MULTIVERSUS by Player First Games. He is currently the only original character. Plot/story. This entry refers to the story of the game. The story of the game basically boils down to all these different characters have gotten sucked into the same universe. The reason as to why this is happening is due to the Great Dimensional Cataclysm, an event where a being known only as the Nothing attacked many dimensions throughout the multiverse, including all of the franchises that show up in MULTIVERSUS. We also know that the world of Sanafir was completely wiped out. All except for Raindog, and now Raindog is trying to assemble a team to take down the Nothing, and that's the story of MULTIVERSUS. Mind you, all this information comes from Raindog's description on the MULTIVERSUS website, and is quite old. In the full launch, we'll probably get some form of story mode through the PvE rifts. This mode seems more focused on Joker as the main villain than the so-called Nothing, but we'll have to see on launch what the actual story they're gonna tell is. Seasonal events. This entry refers to the seasonal events that would happen in the game. Usually it will include some cosmetics and some kind of currency that could be used to earn free cosmetic character variants. Throughout the open beta, we had 3 events: the Halloween event, the Christmas event, and the Valentine's Day event. EVO. This refers to MULTIVERSUS being present at EVO 2022 with a $100,000 prize pool. This is still the biggest tournament MULTIVERSUS has ever had and probably ever will be. The winners of EVO was Nakat and GSM Void, the biggest fighting game on Steam. This entry is simply about the fact that MULTIVERSUS had the highest concurrent player number of all time for a fighting game on Steam, with over 150,000 active players at once. Closed Alpha. This entry refers to the Closed Alpha held a couple months before the open beta of MULTIVERSUS. Players who participated in Closed Alpha also received these exclusive cosmetics. Loops. Loops is a term used to describe combos of usually just a few moves that loop in on themselves. The developers often remove these combos or make them way worse in some kind of way. Finn Backpack. This entry simply refers to Finn's up special move, which is kind of famous for being extremely strong and very cheesy. Especially when the game was initially released into open beta, any new players to the game hated this move. That was Tier 2. There might have been a thing in here that you didn't know, but you probably knew most of them. Now we move on to the underside of this iceberg, where you might actually learn something new, even if you have played the game. Let's get started with Tier 3, Dodge Jumping. Dodge jumping is a core mechanic to MULTIVERSUS that is performed by dodging and then jumping, which grants you instant acceleration, making you much faster. This is an integral part of higher level MULTIVERSUS play, at least in the open beta. Closed Alpha Taz no cooldown. This entry refers to Taz not having a cooldown on side special in the Closed Alpha. This was absolutely insane and many people complained about it. So he would basically just spam side special over and over again due to there not being a cooldown. Treefort Snail. The Treefort Snail is a little snail that can be found on all Treefort stages in random locations. This snail is an important character in the Adventure Time lore. MULTIVERSUS trading cards. This entry refers to the MULTIVERSUS trading cards that have been given out at several occasions to community members, as well as given out at events such as EVO, Gandalf League. The Gandalf leak is what you would think it is. Before the announcement of the game, a roster for the game had leaked, and included in this roster was Gandalf. However, Gandalf would never actually end up being in the game. However, many speculate that some of his moves have been translated to Morty. I'm not surprised. This entry refers to an infamous MULTIVERSUS Evo moment, where after winning a set, Mirrorman would say,
I'm not surprised.
where after saying that, he would proceed to lose the grand finals to the same team he said that to. Classic MULTIVERSUS meme. GSM Void. GSM Void is a professional Smash Bros. Player who, at around the time of launch, played a lot of MULTIVERSUS and was considered one of the greatest players at the time. As mentioned before, he was the winner of EVO alongside with Nakat. He stopped playing not too long after EVO. Bad netcode. Along with this, I will also include bad hitboxes entry, as you can probably guess why. As you can probably guess that these entries refer to the bad netcode and janky hitboxes. The netcode has always been a very big problem for MULTIVERSUS, and hopefully with the new rollback for launch, we won't have to deal with the bad netcode anymore. But along with the bad netcode, the janky hitboxes and moves of characters just made it way worse. There were fixes that tried to be made to it, but it never really got fixed. Definitely one of the worst things about MULTIVERSUS. Streamers could not play. Many streamers who attempted to play MULTIVERSUS at the launch of the open beta were unable to due to viewers spamming them with friend requests. HBox leak. Probably the most famous MULTIVERSUS leak, Hungrybox, a professional Smash Bros. Player and a streamer, leaked the game and the roster for the launch of the game way before the announcement. Now we're moving into Tier 4. At this step, some dedicated players might even learn something. MULTIVERSUS Happy Meal. This entry simply refers to the MULTIVERSUS X McDonald's collab that included a Happy Meal with MULTIVERSUS toys. And yes, I did buy 2 Happy Meals myself for this. Tech test. Before even the closed alpha of the game, there was multiple tech tests held for pro players of other games and specially invited players. Due to an NDA, we don't have much footage of this period of the game, but the video in the background was the only footage I could find. Bugs Double Rocket. The Bugs Double Rocket glitch was a glitch that let Bugs Bunny spawn 2 rockets without going on cooldown. It was very broken, but it got patched pretty quickly, but it was definitely very annoying. Chad Raindog. This is an original concept art of Raindog where he looks extremely masculine, and for some reason he just is absolutely chatted out of his mind. As the kids would say, he mogs. I'm not including that. Wave dashing. Wave dashing is a technique with origins in other platform fighting games such as Smash Bros. Melee. A similar technique is available in MULTIVERSUS, however it's not that useful due to it consuming almost all of your dodge meter. Iron Giant grab the kill. At a certain point in the game, Iron Giant was able to grab you once and then kill you for free by comboing into some moves. This was extremely broken and very unfun to fight, as if you got close to him you could potentially be grabbed once, which would just kill you on the spot basically. Soup with no cooldown. This entry refers to a point in the game in the early stages of open beta where Superman had no cooldown on laser or his frost breath. Not having a cooldown on laser basically just made Soup spam it at the top of the stage with no consequences. Eventually he would be given a limited amount of charges for his laser, and the frost breath would receive a meter that he could use from. Once the meter is down, he obviously can't use it anymore, at least until it refreshes. Cromulon Unlock Event. An event many players have probably forgotten about. For the release of Cromulon stage, players were tasked to play 20 million matches to unlock the stage. I'm not sure why they decided to do this, but I'm sure a lot of people forgot about this, including me. Velma Jake Car Bug. This was a bug at the launch of the open beta that let Velma spam projectiles infinitely. If she used her speech bubbles on Jake while he was in his down special state, it wouldn't actually use the cooldown and she would just keep sending these projectiles out and would constantly go out, and they would even be homing, so it was very broken. Shaggy Double Charge Move. A similar bug to the Double Bugs Rocket glitch. If performed correctly, it would allow Shaggy to use 2 of his charged moves, which is only intended to have 1 of. This was extremely broken and very annoying, and it for some reason took quite a while for the devs to actually patch it out. Assassin Debuff. Originally for the launch of open beta and for a while after, all characters in the Assassin class had a damage debuff that made them all do less damage. In the beginning, it was 14%, then it was lowered to 5%, but eventually removed completely. Closed Alpha Lab Stage. During the closed alpha, the Sky Arena stage was actually not finished, so they instead used the test stage that is only available in the lab to replace it. For the last entry of Tier 4, we have guilds. This was a feature promised all the way back in the closed alpha of the game that would allow players to play together in some sort of guild mode. There's also speculation that there was gonna be guild rankings and such, but we've actually never gotten guilds, even after almost 2 years now, I'm pretty sure. What exactly they're planning for this feature is currently unknown. Alright, that was Tier 4. I hope you learned something in this one, but if you didn't, there's thankfully still 3 tiers left. Let's just jump right into Tier 5. Moon Jump / Super Jump. This was a technique that let players, if performed correctly, fly extremely high up. For Arya, she had to use her down air on frame 1 of her jump. This was extremely hard to use, but very cool. In the closed offline version of the game it's in right now, it is actually still possible to perform. Rick Reflect glitch. At the release of Rick, if he reflected his own projectile with Meeseeks, he would do over 150 damage in one hit. This was patched very quickly. Arya Pie. The Arya Pie is a reference to a moment in Game of Thrones where Arya makes a pie out of someone's children and then feeds it to them. Quite a gruesome thing considering the target audience of Multiversus. It's pretty cool though. Stuck bouncing on ceiling or wall. This is a glitch that has persisted through all stages of the game for unknown reasons really, where sometimes if hit the right way, players will get stuck bouncing on a ceiling or a wall infinitely. LeBron doesn't voice LeBron. As you can probably tell, this basically just says that LeBron doesn't actually voice LeBron James in Multiversus. Another LeBron entry here, LeBron isn't LeBron. Similar to the previous entry, this is about how LeBron isn't actually real life LeBron Raymond James Sr., but actually the LeBron from Space Jam 2, the movie which Warner Brothers owns that character. So it's not actually LeBron, it's Space Jam LeBron. To finish off this LeBron trilogy, I just wanted to show off this semi-famous LeBron sheet made by the lead developer of Multiversus on how they are disabling LeBron, which gave us a fantastic tweet. Amethyst Sky Arena. Below both of the Sky Arena stages, sometimes Amethyst, a character from Steven Universe, is seen reaching out to grab a donut, and you see her hand. This is similar to the Treefort Snail as a little stage secret. Jake Stretch Glitch. This was a glitch that, due to poor internet connection, sometimes Jake's up special, where he stretches out, would completely bug out and cover the entire stage. And that was tier 5. I hope you learned something. I think you did. Maybe I don't know you, but you know, I don't know. But anyways, let's just get into tier 6 right here. McDonald's leak. As part of the Multiversus X McDonald's collab, there were certain franchises around the world which were included in paper figures of DC characters, including some like the Joker, the Flash, and Robin, who aren't in Multiversus now. But since the Joker has been revealed and added to the game, but there's no word on Flash or Robin. First time playing MMR bug. In the last patch of the game, the way that MMR was calculated for the first time you played a character was changed so higher ranked on one character, you would be placed on a closer rank to that. But I don't know who programmed this because you would get astronomically more MMR for the first time you played a character. Gopo Slide. This entry refers to a glitch or a bug that would let Finn keep all of his momentum gained by using Aerial Side Special. This will let him gain massive speed, and from what I can gather, this technique was either discovered or popularized by Gopo, the namesake of the glitch, who was also actually hired for PFG as a QA tester. Taz Eat Glitch. This entry simply refers to a glitch that would let Taz force any character that he had eaten with his neutral special out while using down air. While this was a thing, getting eaten once was a guaranteed death. Arya Dash Tech. This was a technique discovered all the way back in the closed alpha or maybe even tech test, which lets Arya move at insane speeds. To perform it, you need to dodge out of her grounded down attack, which has an inbuilt dodge, so you can chain these two moves together. This has a similar problem to wave dashing as I mentioned earlier, which is that it uses almost all of your dodge meter, leaving you defenseless. But it definitely looks cool. God Marvin / Infinite Button Glitch. This is a glitch that I don't know how it worked, but it would let Marvin use his button infinitely while having it combo in on itself. I have no idea why it did that, but it looks insane. Unlocked frame rate. Multiversus game logic is tied to the frame rate. This isn't a problem when everyone is running at 60 FPS. However, people modded their game to unlock the frame rate, and this yielded insane results. People who played on 120 FPS would quite literally be twice as fast. This meant that combos were faster, moves became unreactable, and the servers were more likely to desync as it's trying to calculate logic on two different speeds simultaneously. Arya Touch of Death. This refers to a period of time where Arya's up special was always 100% consistent, and she could also combo it into knife throw, and then into up air, and then into knife dash, and then into up special, into up air, letting her kill almost every character at 0. At some point they removed her ability to combo up special into knife throw, and then also made her up special very inconsistent again, letting her only really do long combos on characters like Superman, Garnet, and obviously Iron Giant. Tier 7. Warner Brothers sending bananas. In the lead up to revealing Banana Guard from Adventure Time as a playable fighter in the full release of Multiversus, the community managers and Multiversus account were tweeting about bananas non-stop. This culminated in a bunch of prominent members in the community quite literally being sent a box that included a singular Multiversus branded banana. Make it Rain Dog World announcement. Big Kid Rain Dog was a tournament series held by the official developers of the game. Originally, the tournament was only in America, but a few months before the shutdown of the game, they would announce that there's a new tournament coming, and said they were making an announcement in January that the world should be excited for, implying that they were going to extend the tournament to Europe and other regions. But before this could happen, the game was shut down. Also, this reveal was taken down only 3 minutes after posting, so we definitely weren't supposed to see it. PlayStation 4 buff. I'm not exactly sure what caused this, but as mentioned earlier, having a higher frame rate would let you have much better moves and just generally change the rules of the game for whoever had a higher FPS than 60. And apparently, at a specific point, the PlayStation 4 version of MULTIVERSUS had a glitch where it would run at a slightly higher frame rate, letting anyone on a PlayStation 4 have better moves and all of the advantages that come from having a higher frame rate. Not much is known about this glitch, and it seems to not be in the game for very long, maybe only a patch or two, but it's definitely very interesting. If anyone knows exactly what this glitch really was, please let me know in the comments, as I'm very curious what this really was and why it happened. Double Aria desync. If you were to try and play 2 Arias together on one team, there'd be a slight chance that after each hit you deal, you'd be booted back into the lobby. NetherRealm leak. The first leak ever made of MULTIVERSUS was on the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit, where what we can only assume is a QA tester leaks that there is a Warner Brothers platform fighter currently being worked on. The leaker, however, thought that the game was being developed by NetherRealm Studios, the team behind the Mortal Kombat games. How this person got this knowledge is unknown, and why they thought it was a NetherRealm game is also unknown. Bluetooth clip. I don't have much to say, I just think it was funny. But anyways, that was the video. That was the entire MULTIVERSUS Iceberg. If you watched all the way, thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot, and it's been super fun to make these videos and stuff. And I've been super excited to actually post this video, so I really hope you enjoyed it. You want to subscribe? Subscribe. It helps out a lot. Like if you want to, comment if you want to. Also, shout out to Andas and Fruitl for helping me out with writing the original document for the Iceberg. And then also thanks to Fruitl for helping me with the script. I hope you're as excited as me for the launch of MULTIVERSUS, and yeah, I hope I see you on May 28th. Bye!